Hey guys,
Hey,
we're just jumping on to give a quick update. All of us are sick.
it's been a long week.
It has. We just finished my family reunion. My dad's siblings and all of my dad's siblings came out here and their kids to celebrate my grandma and grandpa, my nana and papa. So we've been pretty busy and occupied with that. But we wanted to jump on because we've been getting questions and messages from people in regards to our current situation with the IVF process and the recent frozen embryo transfer. And so we just decided, I told Chris, I said, I kind of don't want to answer anymore. And so I would rather just do a video just because it makes it easier. So, do you have anything? We have some weird nose, throat, whatever, so we're a little congested. I got it a day ago, and he just started feeling it last night.
This morning.
So we've just been like, whoa. But, so anyways, on Monday, which was the first day of our family reunion, so we had the 2-week wait the last couple of weeks, and on Monday, which was the first day of our family reunion at the lake, I had gone in prior to leaving for the lake to do blood work, which is my beta testing to see if I'm testing positive for HCG. And I had been taking pregnancy tests. I know some people say don't do that, but I started taking them probably Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday, just because I told Chris, I said, I need to know for myself. I need to prepare myself mentally just because I've gone through a lot of loss. And so I just need to be prepared because I'd rather kind of go in knowing what to expect ahead of time than just being shocked and surprised. So we had a day at the lake with our family, and because I've been on progesterone and I've been on estradiol, I've been having pregnancy symptoms the last 2 weeks prior to all of that, because you're basically injecting yourself with what your body does naturally. And so I had tenderness of breast, I had nauseous, I was super fatigued, super tired. What else? Just a lot of things. And because I've been pregnant before, I knew kind of the symptoms, but my biggest thing is I couldn't tell the difference of whether it was the hormones that were allowing me to feel that way or the actual pregnancy. And I told Chris I felt like I was pregnant the first week. I felt like implantation had happened and stuff like that. And then just because of different things that have happened from my past pregnancies. But then towards Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, I started to not feel as pregnant. And so I kind of had a feeling going into the testing and knowing, and I kind of knew what to expect. But I was still underlying hoping for, I guess, a miracle. I would have rather been going in there preparing for the worst and then have this happen. That would have been awesome. So in a roundabout way, we tested negative. Yeah, so my HCG levels came back under 1. And so when they call you, they tell you to stop your medications and you're negative. And Monday was a pretty hard night. We had just gone to the cabin that my family was staying at, and we were on our way. We had to take pizza. That's when we had gotten the phone call, and it kind of just became blurry and numb. Every time. And I think I was kind of prepared for it. I mean, I don't think you're ever prepared for something like this, but I feel like I was. kind of prepared in the way of like I had been taking tests and was just like, okay. But I think Chris was really optimistic. And I think he was really let down from the outcome, and I think that's what hurt me more, because I asked the lady, I said, okay, when do we start again? Like, I was just ready. Like, let's just jump on it again. And she's like, well, you have to wait for your period to come, and day one you can call, and we want you to meet with Dr. Folk, so we won't meet with him until the 23rd of July, so we have to wait a little bit, where I was like, let's just go, let's jump right back into it. Like, I was more of that kind of mindset, just because I feel like I still have faith that it's going to work out for us. And so I just want to be proactive about it. Like, I don't know. But I think the hardest part for me on Monday night was feeling like I'm letting him down. And like that we're so close. And like just kind of these, why can't my body just take it? Like, why can't my body just hold a pregnancy? Or like what's wrong? We've done, like, we had a really good sacrament meeting on Sunday prior, and it was talking about faith and how faith requires action. And I just felt really good afterwards, thinking like we've done our part, because we had our state presidency come in and they just talked about how it requires, you know, our part. And hold on, you start talking.
Well, for the record, she obviously didn't let me down. So I don't know where she got that from.
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, it just feels like it. You just feel like when you find out that the issues are with you, like, they're not really from you, it makes me feel like I'm letting you down because I know you want kids. You know, it's like, I want kids too, like, don't get me wrong, but I just feel like I'm the factor at fault for it. But I know that you're very supportive. I just feel like in my mind, I just feel like I'm letting you down, and that's what's hard, just because it's like, I don't know, you go through these issues with fertility, and you think, like, Chris would never do that, like, he would never leave me, or anything like that, but I start to think stupid things like that, and maybe that's just the adversary's playing it, is just like, is he gonna want to go somewhere else or leave me or divorce me because I can't carry children, I can't have our own kids, like, or whatever. And I'm not saying we can't, I'm just saying, like, we've just had a lot of series of unfortunate events with that whole, so it was more like that, and that's just how I react to issues sometimes. But I know you would never leave me, and I know that, you know, we have an extremely strong bond, so I'm not saying that, it's just those are thoughts that rush through my head. Like, if I'm being completely honest, which I did tell you that, you know, that night, and I told you I was sorry, just because I felt like I was at fault, which is something you can't do. You can't blame yourself. And I think that's the hard part, is you do, no matter what, you do blame yourself. And you start to think like, well, what if I would have did this, or if I did that, or if I would have did this? And I've had that with every miscarriage. Even my ectopic, I've sat there and replayed in my mind, if I would have did certain things, this could have been a different outcome. But this time I feel like I'm more like, it's out of our hands. Like, with the sacrament meeting that we had on Sunday, I felt like they were talking about us putting action and putting faith, you know, into action. We have done what we can do. And that's kind of what Chris and I talked about on Monday night, is like, we've exasperated everything that we can do on our part. We've sought out medical help, we've found answers. And now it's just like in the Lord's hands, which is hard for anybody to accept, I'm sure. But like, I trust in His timing and I trust in His plan. It's just, it doesn't make it easier, I guess. So that's my 2 cents on the whole situation.
No, like I reassured her on Monday that, you know, there's nothing to be sorry about. You know, it's like she said, it's out of our hands. But when you marry somebody with a type A personality, they think everything's in their hands.
Try to make everything in their hands.
So, yeah, it was just Monday night was hard, but it was more like the news itself was hard. But then it turned into trying to reassure her that, you know, everything happens for a reason, and we'll get through it, and as long as we keep doing what we need to do, something will come of it. And I mean, we've talked about it with her mom and like her siblings and stuff like that, and it's like it was definitely an inspiration to do the second cycle, because we thought about it like, how hard would it have been if we just went through with the first cycle and we only had the one embryo?
Yeah.
Because then we're done, you know. We have to go through the entire cycle all over again. So I think it was a real inspiration to go through the second cycle, to kind of bank more embryos.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying we just brush it off or whatever, you know. It's still a life lost, is how we look at it.
Yeah, it's still, I feel like we mourn this just as much as we mourn our past pregnancies, our past miscarriages. Like,
what was different about this one is we actually got to see it implanted.
Yeah, like, well, not implanted, but put in the uterus.
Yeah, we knew there was something in there this time.
Yeah, and you're pregnant until
as soon as they put
proven. Yeah, until like proven otherwise, and so it's like your body is experiencing all those things, and like the hormones, like,
yeah,
it's just, I don't know. Like, in this week now that I've been off the hormones, like, I can tell a difference with myself. Can you tell a difference? I was crazy a week ago on Saturday. Like, I got really frustrated with Chris, which was nothing it was like not his fault at all. Like, I just lost it. Like,
our relationship's a lot better without hormones.
Yeah,
but I mean,
he understands.
The hard times are worth what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
So I'll take all the roller coaster emotional rides that I have to, as long as we, you know, keep pushing for what we want.
Well, and I told him too, like, on Monday, like, when we started this process, we started in January. It's now July. Like, that's 7 months. That could have been 7 months of a pregnancy. And, like, I also just feel like, personally, like, when do I say enough's enough? Like, I'm going to keep trying, and I'm going to go again. Like, we're going to try a couple, you know, more times, however many times. But I think there's going to come a point in time where my body is just like, I just don't want to. I don't want to do the mental.
You don't want to do the shots anymore.
Yeah, like, just like, you literally have no control. Like, men, please understand. Like, they're not playing off of it. Like, they're not just doing, like, you have no control over your emotions and your hormones. Like, it's nuts. It's just insane. Like, I felt like I was watching myself. Like, here I am out here and watching myself be this other person that I didn't have control over. Afterwards, I'm like, whoa, like, who is that? Because that's not my normal demeanor, I guess. And so, luckily, Chris and I have been married for enough years that it's like, he knows that it's not me. You know, like, he knows it's like not really who I am. Because Saturday, I seriously thought I was going to pick up a 2x4 and just like Like, I don't know why I was so angry, and it really was nothing that was like, it was just the stupidest thing now looking back, but I don't know, it's tough, it's rough, and I think I worry about him because he's more of a like introvert with his emotions, as you can see. Like, he doesn't show emotions, he doesn't express, even with me, and I get frustrated sometimes, and I'll sit there and tell him, like, you have to open up to me, because he always tries to be the strong guy like this, and hold everything in, and try to like beat the glue, because I can be an emotional wreck, and like I want him to be okay, and I want him to know that it's okay to feel bad, and to feel like crappy, and to just be bad or sad, or it's okay to feel emotions, especially with me. And so he asked on Monday night if we could leave my family reunion, and so we left, and we went and got a hotel room because we were up in Logan. And I think we just needed that time away to just like, okay.
It was more of a kind of mentally prepare.
Yeah.
Kind of let it soak in. Kind of grasp.
We could go fake it, but
yeah.
Neither one of us were in the mood. Like.
And it says a lot that I wasn't able to.
Yeah.
But it was, like she said earlier, you know, I was pretty optimistic. I mean, like she said also earlier, like we've done the steps that are needed, and we went through the whole process and all that, and then so yeah, I mean, I was optimistic, but it's out of our hands.
Yeah.
So.
And we've just come to accept that, I think, now. Like, we just are like, well, we're trying. Like, that's all that we can do, is like, we've tried, and we're going to continue to try. Like, good thing we have 10 embryos left now. We went from 11 to 10, so good thing we have those, but it's just, I don't know. It's definitely heart-wrenching, I think. But on a side note, I feel like my family reunion was a pretty decent distraction for us. Like,
Oh, it was great.
Now we're having a reality being back
great.
home. Like,
I mean, we even had like a little mini family reunion, which
yeah.
is her siblings yesterday.
Yeah.
Which is also good.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it just shows that, you know, it doesn't matter what you go through, family will, you know,
Yeah.
always be there.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was a great distraction. And
Yeah.
it was very involved.
And we're sorry if we were antisocial at the reunion. We were just trying to function. We both were kind of numb at the beginning.
We were good
just
to be there.
Just there, yeah.
We were good to be there.
So mentally we were just like, yeah, but
yeah, just shout out to her family members that, you know,
thank you guys. We appreciate the love.
stuck with us.
Yeah, and that we were supposed to be way more active in our committee, but
Yeah, we're sorry.
we are very sorry. We were just trying to be there, I think. We were just trying to make sure that we weren't emotional wrecks like this, because I know some of you probably saw me crying a couple times, and we're like, she cries a lot. And
It was an emotional weekend
yeah.
too, though.
Yeah,
my dad.
So my dad, you guys, has been gone for 8 years, 9 years, 8 years, 8 years, in 2011, and he passed away on June 28th, which was last week.
Last month.
Yeah, but like it was like last week, because him and Grandma
Oh,
were like a week
yeah,
apart.
yeah.
So it was last week. So I kind of came into this, and I knew seeing his siblings, like their mannerisms, and being around them, and just hearing stories about my dad. I knew it was going to bring a lot of emotions already, and I think this on top of it
Didn't help.
just added to it, because I had intentions. I don't care. I'll say it. Like, but I was planning on naming my, you know, if this would have been a positive pregnancy, and naming him after my dad. And so I think it was just like a emotional week because of everything that was happening. And like, there was a point in time Ugh, I hate Craig. Because I lost my grandma a year ago on July 5th, and so that was 2 days ago. But there was like a point in time where I could just feel my dad was like with me and just kind of like, I got you, like, don't worry, they're in good hands and taking care of them. And I just was like, okay, but enough, like, it's time to come down here with us. Like, stop playing with my kids and set them down already. And like, I don't know, I just feel like each of them are a spirit, and I hope like in the next life or whatever your beliefs are that we'll be able to like raise them and like be with them. But I feel like in the meantime, my dad and my grandma and my nana and my grandpas,
my grandparents,
and your grandparents are taking care of them. And so I really felt peace this week in that, like thinking, you know, they can't be here physically with us. And so if it means that our now 5 possible children that we would have are there with them, like, it's okay. Like, I'm willing to allow them to have that. But can I just have one? Like, come on, Dad. Like, just let me have one come down. So this week was emotional on top of that, just being with my dad. Dad's family and feeling my dad a lot throughout this process, and just like.
But I think it was good that we went to Samoa last year.
Yeah.
And you were able to visit your dad.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. But I just feel like, I'm just saying, like, I feel like his hand, as well as like Heavenly Father's hand, I feel like my dad's hand is very much involved in this whole process. Like, if he were here, my dad would go get me a baby. Like, no questions asked. Like, I just know that. Like, he would go find someone in Samoa, probably, like, that, you know, circumstances that he'd be like, okay, you know, that's just, he would do that, or he would try to solve this problem real quick. And it's like, I feel like I have that kind of outlook on it. It's like, let's just solve this. Let's just get it taken care of. And I think throughout the process, Heavenly Father's been like, that's not how it works. Like, you don't get to pick and choose how you're going to solve this. Like, this is your trial that you've been given. And it's in my timing. And it's in my, like, you know, I am Alpha and Omega. And so I feel like this time around, I'm finally like, okay, like, you're right. It's your timing. It's your, I just hope you find it us worthy to be able to one day have a child and so forth, because like this has been a long process, like 5 years that we've been going through this, and it's required a lot of patience and a lot of patience.
She doesn't have.
I don't have patience. A lot of things out of our control. Another thing I don't have. And a lot of tears, a lot of emotional sacrifices, mental sacrifices, like physical sacrifices. Like my body is just like tore up. And Chris has pseudo sacrifices where he just you're like the men in pregnancy where you just are having like sympathy everything, huh?
Yeah.
He has back pain. I have back pain. He's having all these like.
I'm looking 3 months pregnant right now.
Even like you just have not even that. I'm just like, it's just funny. Like if I feel sick, like you sick, I get sick, you get sick. Like you have all these like.
And I mean that doesn't have anything to do with her sleeping right next to me.
But it's just like, it's just funny to see all these things that we're both experiencing on top of like the mental exhaustion that it's just been. But at the end of the day, I still feel in my heart that it's gonna work out. And that's what we can hold on to. That's what we can grasp onto, is that little glimpse of hope of like, okay, it's gonna happen. We don't know when, we don't know how, we just know, hopefully, with lots of prayers and faith, that it's gonna happen. So for those of you that have asked, thank you for your concern, thank you for your prayers. I was even shocked at my family reunion to some of the people were like, we're following your story. I was like, oh, thanks. Like, I felt like kind of weird because we're open on this, but it's just easier to do it this way for me than to explain the situation every time individually with each different person. Like, because I even had some people ask me like, hey, how's everything going? I was just like, no. Because I still feel numb to it. I still kind of had that like hope. Like, I didn't get my period this whole week, and I was like, well, maybe there's still a chance, you know. And so I like would test and still test negative, and so it's just like I still am holding on to hope, but it's like a false hope almost, like and having other things. So that's just kind of where we're at right now. We are here, right? We're here, trying to be optimistic, trying to live life. Do you have any last thoughts, final things to say?
Nope.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
So that's just where we're at. Like, thank you guys for your concerns and your prayers, and please continue to send more prayers. It's much appreciated, just because any faith or any prayers on our behalf that we can get right now is going to be like much appreciated. So, but thank you for everything you're following, your concerns and your comments, and
thank you.
yeah,
We appreciate it.
We do.
We feel it. For sure.
Hopefully we'll have good outcomes when we meet with our doctor. Like, maybe this was just like
A fluke
or something, just, you know, just whatever it was, and we'll just jump back on the horse and try it again, and
We'll keep you updated.
and let you know. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.